Fighter pilots know that not everything happens in the sky during a war. The events described in David Rosenberg's account take place in 1995, during an amazing rescue mission carried out by the National Security Agency, NSA, in an effort to locate a United States Air Force pilot who had become trapped behind enemy lines in the territory that was formerly known as Yugoslavia. Captain Scott O'Grady was on a NATO mission over Bosnia when a surface-to-air missile hit his F-16, ripping it in half and setting it on fire. O'Grady jumped out of the plane safely, but time was running out. He was now in enemy territory, and O'Grady knew he would soon be found and killed. David Rosenberg, a former NSA signals intelligence officer who worked in Pine Gap, Australia, told that the forces that shot him down would have undoubtedly had a very good idea of where he would have ejected, and they would have mobilized very rapidly to grab him on the ground. The NSA led the search to find O'Grady and help bring him back home. This was a mission-critical operation, and one of the most interesting things to happen during Rosenberg's 23 years working in the shadows for the NSA. While Pine Gap may be thousands of miles away from the U.S. in Australia's Northern Territory, on June 2, 1995, the U.S. military and NSA were mobilizing their considerable powers to save O'Grady's life. Pine Gap was tasked with searching for O'Grady's distress signal under his call sign, a name pilots use so they don't reveal their identity or rank. Basher 52, that was his call sign. Rosenberg said, "Various pilots will choose a call sign for themselves. We've seen that in movies with Top Gun, with Tom Cruise and Maverick. The plan involved using the U.S. government's orbiting satellites to gather signals, then use radio waves to send that intel to antennas on the Earth, where Pine Gap staff analyzed data in warehouses lit up inside like Christmas trees with blinking lights." By June 6, 1995, the NSA had been searching around the clock for 4 days, however. There was no sign yet of Basher 52. Even if O'Grady had survived the fall, the NSA knew his chances were slim. NATO were sending in pilots to enforce a no-fly zone as part of Operation Denny Flight. O'Grady's adversaries were likely equipped to intercept a distress signal if the U.S. pilot used his emergency transmitter on the ground, alerting them to his location. Perhaps O'Grady had decided his best option was to lay low, cover his face with mud, and start collecting rainwater, dew, and edible ants in order to survive. The NSA would have to be patient. We did feel a personal connection to O'Grady. It wasn't like the signals that we typically see, which are simply electronic signals. When you're looking for a person that really changes the game, Rosenberg told True Spies. Was he killed? Was he captured? Did his transmitter fail? We simply didn't know.